Hey, guess what? It happened again. Let me tell you about it. Oh, Lordy. The curse is a real thing, man. I keep fighting it, fighting it, fighting it, fighting it. Just a dude trying to stay alive, man. It really sucks. My future sucks really bad. My immediate future sucks really bad. And even my long term future sucks really bad. But let me tell you about it. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's not because it's me just trying to live real. If you're new to the channel, I'm a working homeless person that pretty much tries to find a new place to sleep almost every night. I use certain places more than others, but I'm running out of options. Uh, so, with that being said, for once in a very, very long time, I had a 3 day weekend from work because I took an unpaid day off yesterday, and I normally have Saturday and Sunday off recently. So I like just was like I started to have some vehicle problems Saturday. I was headed to camping, so as a precaution, I canceled that and just stayed local to the Milton Pace, Florida area, and pretty much just hung out at a sports bar and just watched some football. I just did local stuff. After a while, the van seemed to be running okay, but I wasn't going to go 40 or 50 miles away and then have it break down in a forest. And with limited funds on me, hopefully the financial situation changes tomorrow. It's supposed to. But so I had just watched a little football yesterday, just uh, pretty much called it an early night. Um, I parked at a movie theater in Pace, Florida called The Ridge, and next door is the Walmart. And I just kind of went in, got a salad, a really good salad. They have these salads I'm going to do a little feature on that is just out of this world that I really love, and it's really a great deal and a great value for $2.97. But so I had some cold snacks earlier in the evening, and I was just sitting in the driver's seat watching YouTube. That's kind of what I do. I really don't have TV. YouTube's my entertainment if I'm not outdoors. And I forget what time I went to bed. 9, 10. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I really don't remember. But I definitely had some Coors Light, just chilling, just wasn't going anywhere. And so I hit the sack. I got the cot in the back and hit the sack and just go to sleep, and was sleeping pretty good when I get this really loud, aggressive knock. This aggressive knock on the rear doors, and it's the popo. Guys talking. I try to explain to him I didn't want him to think I was lying or being deceptive or anything, but the rear doors don't open, so I couldn't open it. And I'm yelling to him through the window, telling him, let me get my shorts on and I'll meet you at the driver's side. And he seemed to be okay with that. And then we talked, and there was a leftover open beer can, because I don't litter, sitting in the console, right where this phone is sitting currently. So he starts asking me all kinds of questions, telling me I'm trespassing and all this stuff, and just it started to get uncomfortable, and I'm okay with somebody, the law enforcement doing their job and everything. Just don't talk to me like I'm 10, 11, or 12. Come on, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's very demeaning. So he kept, he kept up his aggressive nature, and um, so he was saying, well, you got to go. And I'm like, well, you know, I understand. I appreciate that. Thank you. And he's telling me to go to the Walmart parking lot. I'm like, no, I've already been kicked out of there. I've never littered. I don't know why I was kicked out. He goes, no, you can go over there. I'm like, no, I'm not going over there. They've already told me not to go. So I'm not going to do what you're telling me to do because that would be wrong. He's like, well, you haven't been officially trespassed. I'm not doing it, dude. They told me they don't want me. They're not going to get me. That's how it works in my book. So he's asking me information, is the vehicle registered to me, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So I could see it wasn't going in the right direction. So he wants me to get, fully dressed, shorts, t-shirt, and whatnot. And then he's asking me, will you submit to a breathalyzer, a PBT? And I was like, well, I really don't think it's necessary. I was sound asleep minding my own damn business when you woke me up. I wasn't driving. Yeah, the keys are in ignition, but they're 10 feet away. He's like, well, technically, you could be arrested for DUI. I'm like, come on, man. Let's be real here. I'm just a homeless working dude sleeping in my van. No major crime here. I wanted to say, why don't you go do some real police work, but because I was agitated. I'm not going to lie. Usually I'm pretty respectful, and I did remain respectful, but I was starting to get pissed off. So, I told him, I said, well, I don't think the PBT is really necessary. I can sleep here for a few more hours and then just get up and go or whatever. He goes, no, you got to go now. But then he says, if I felt like it was like in an entrapment situation, and he's like, well, if you blow in this PBT and you're above the legal limit, then I'm going to let you sleep here. I'm like, well, then why don't you just let me sleep here? I don't think it's necessary for me to blow into the PBT. I didn't say it like that, but said it calmly. But it totally insulted me. Homelessness and poverty is not a crime, especially when you're working your ass to get out of it. So I'm like, all right, at this point, he said if I don't blow in the PBT, he's going to tow my van and haul me away. I'm like, dude, I was just a dude sleeping in a cot. What the hell's wrong with me? I didn't say that, but that's kind of what I think my body language spoke enough. So he ends up asking me to do the PBT. And this is where I started really getting pissed off because I comply, do as told, instructed. I've already witnessed these applied numerous times many years ago. It really hasn't changed. Same process. And he's telling me, you're blocking the tube or something. I'm like, no, I'm not. I know where my tongue is. I know where the tube is. He's like, you're not blowing hard. I'm like, I'm blowing, dude. So he's telling me, no, that didn't work. You got to do it again. So do it again. Way below the legal limit. I mean, way below. Then he says, we got to do it again. I'm like, I just did. I just complied twice. So then do it again. Same reading. It was only off by 1/100th of a percent or whatever you want to call that. So if anybody wants to know what I blew, it was a .03. while I was sleeping. So this is my souvenir. This is what a PBT tube looks like. And to be honest with you, I think this is the end I blew in. Not really. Oops, sorry, you couldn't see that. I didn't. So I'm going to twist this around. There's a hole there. And if you go on the other side, there's a couple holes there. Honestly, it was dark, so I'm assuming this tapered end is this tapered end right here is the one I blew into. And he goes, "Oh, you can have this." I'm like, "Thanks, dude. You're a swell guy." So now I'm really pissed because now I got to go 7 or 8 miles. He kept telling me, "Just go to the Walmart." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not going to the Walmart. How many times I got to tell you? They don't want me there. I'm not going there because it's just going to be another problem." So I go to the rest area. Now I'm wide awake, extremely pissed off, knowing that I have a Category 4 hurricane headed my way that's going to really make my week really suck more than it already does. So just to spite the dude, I cracked a beer, drank a beer, and went back to sleep. That's how G-Money rolls. So that's that, man. Most people are probably saying, "Dude, you probably shouldn't release this video." I keep it real. That's what we do. So that's that. And I used to use the slogan, "Know your legal limits." So today, we're going to use that slogan. Know your legal limits, bros. Even when you're sleeping.